So, good morning everybody. This is Sam Woods from the Conservation Volunteers here in the lockdown garden. It's a bright and sunny morning on the 15th of May 2020 and we're just coming out of this cold snap, so I thought now would be a good time to do a little update on how my potatoes have been doing. So you can see that after the very cold nights there is some frost damage on the potatoes. So these are my first earlies. I earthed them up a bit yesterday, and you can see that they have caught the cold a little bit. These are the main crop, and they are also showing a little bit of frost damage. So I had an inquiry about this yesterday with people saying, oh, my potatoes have just died. So my message this morning is just hang in there. The ones that are growing even higher up, so these are the ones that were in a bag, and they're looking a bit sad at the moment. You know, the cold has affected them. This is the main crop as well. They've also caught the frost a bit. But just hang in there, just trust the power of the plant to regenerate. We've got some warmer weather coming over the weekend, so hopefully this will give them the chance to actually revive and overcome that frost damage. So don't worry too much about your potatoes. So here is a little update from the lockdown garden on the small raised bed that I put in. So I started off with some chard plants, so these went in as plug plants, and these have taken really well and are starting to really get going. These are some of the brassicas that I was started off on the windowsill. So this is purple sprouting broccoli and some kale in here, and they are also they've made it through the frost that we had recently, and they are taking quite well. And then I've just put some lettuce plants. So these are actually given to me by someone at a school garden. These were actually growing in the wood chip paths of a school up in Markfield, and I've transplanted those and just popped them in between the rows of brassicas. So hopefully the lettuce, which I'll probably do as a sort of cut and come again salad, they will have a chance to establish before the brassicas get very big and start shading them out. So this is one way of getting more crop into a small space, is to intercrop with something that is going to be ready a bit quicker. So the lettuces seem to be doing fine. I've got a bit of ground elder already poking up through this bed, although it's lined with cardboard, so I need to keep an eye on that. And I've also got a few beetroot in here, it's just down here, that were grown on the windowsill and then transplanted. So they are also just sitting in there. And again, I'm probably going to use those more for the leaf than for the root. So everything in here is doing fine, and hopefully will benefit from the warmer weather we're expecting over the weekend. Hey, this is Sam Woods in the lockdown garden. So in this area of my garden I've been growing things in pots. This is just another way of growing things. So I've got some small fruit bushes, I have strawberries in a pot here. This is Mizuna and Rocket growing in a pot. That was given to me by my friend Jessie just last weekend. So they're just coming on a little bit. And this is the borage plant, which I eventually will plant out around the garden. I've got some spinach, which I'm already taking leaves from as a cut and come again plant. I've got some peas there, beetroot, and some red kale. So this red kale actually overwintered and self-seeded into this pot, but I'm just leaving it in there for now. So you can see I've got quite a variety of things growing in pots, and they're all doing fine at the moment. I've got a blueberry bush at the back there, a raspberry over there, and more currants. You can see that where I used wood chip as a mulch, it was full of marigold seed. So I've got a lovely crop of marigold and some chard growing in the bottom of this pot, and I'm just going to leave those for now in there. They're not doing the fruit bush any harm. So So there's a whole variety of things you can grow, and you can see that I've got things in different sized pots depending on the size of the plant. But you could grow these even in a small yard. So one thing I have here, so we've had some recent cold weather. These were some courgettes that I put out quite early, and they have suffered quite severely in the frost, although I did cover them. So I'm just going to leave those and see if they manage to revive. If not, I have some more inside that are ready to come out as the nights warm up. But it's always worth having a go with things. So enjoy growing in pots.